Well, hey, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about footings and the importance of it. So here we have a home that's been dug out and it's been excavated. So the number one thing that you got to keep in mind when you're doing your footings and planning out for it is actually planning, is the design of it. You want to make sure that you get your foundation, your footings done right. They got to be square, they got to be level, because if you don't get this right, then absolutely you're going to have a nightmare with the rest of the build. So, because this is the foundation, this is what your whole house sits on. This is it. This is like the boots. This is like your shoes. This is what keeps the house from falling over. So you want to make sure you get it right. Next thing is you got to have a really good excavator, a guy that knows what he's doing. So, I mean, yeah, this is a bit of a big project for the do-it-yourselfer. I mean, yeah, you could do it, but you're better off to hire professionals to get this right, because the rest of the house is going to be based off of what you got going on here. So when the excavator comes in, he digs this all out. Now, where we are situated right now, this is in Ontario, you have to have the bottom of the footing, which is right here. This is the bottom. That has to be 4 foot below grade. That's your finished grade, because that's where the frost line is here in Ontario. So that keeps you below that. Because if the frost gets in underneath those footings, it's going to heat. It's going to push this up. And then, because frost is very strong, so you want to keep below that. So once your excavation guys got in here, dug it all out, he's going to make sure that he's on undisturbed soil. So this stuff right here that I'm standing on is undisturbed. And if it is disturbed, if you do for some reason dig a little deeper, now you got to compact it, because if you don't, then you have a chance of the footing settling, and then the rest of your house settles, and then you're in big trouble. The other thing you'll see is pads. So these pads, there's going to be weight, a point load coming down on top of that. So there'll be a post or something on there. So the other thing that they do is sometimes we'll put rebar inside this concrete. So 5/8 rods, long rods that run parallel to the sides of the footing. That makes it even stronger. Now, where that comes in important is it'll be your engineer, your designer that will actually let you know whether or not you need that. It's not necessary all the time. It just makes it stronger. So then once you've decided whether or not you have to do that, then you're going to form all these. So what they do is depending on the thickness, this depth of your footing is based off of how much weight is coming down on top of it. So in this situation, there's 6-inch footings. So what they do is they use 2x6 and they frame it. They form it. It's like baking a cake or something. You know, you have to have something to hold all the concrete in. Because when this concrete comes in, so this is what your footing looks like underneath your house. So that, yeah, again, that's what's holding your house up. That has to be held in by something, because when it goes in, it's liquid. It's kind of like, depending on the temperature and the humidity and air, whether it's raining, whether it's freezing, all that kind of stuff depends on the consistency of the concrete that goes in. But typically it's kind of like peanut butter with rocks in it, basically. That's kind of the consistency. So the next thing is you want to make sure it's square. So from this corner, from one side to the other, all the way to there, and each one of these has to be square. Because if it's not, by the time you get to the roof, you're going to have a nightmare, because your trusses aren't going to fit proper because it's not square. So it's very important to make sure it's square. Also, you want to make sure it's level. So what they do is they take a transit and they go off that corner, level it to that corner, make sure it's level there, all the way down there, and all the way over there. So each one of these points, each one of these corners is dead level. So they make sure that that is framed and formed before you put the concrete in. All of that has to be dead level, because if it's not, then, oh man, it's good. Again, by the time you get to your roof, you're going to notice it, and it's going to be an awful mess. So next is you're going to be pouring concrete. So when a big truck comes in, I'll show you a picture of it. Big truck with a round dome thing on it comes in, and they shoot the concrete in a chute, or they'll pump it in. And this one they might have pumped in. And then the concrete, it's a long ways, all the way from where the truck would be parked way over there, all the way over to this corner. It's about 150 feet. So what they do is pump it in, and it comes in the liquid form. So once it goes in and in liquid form, then what they do is they screed it. They level it all out. And then, so it's basically they're taking a material, either 2x4, 2x6, and they go back and forth to level it off with each side. So this side and that side are dead level, so that the footing is actually dead level across. Then what they do is they put this thing in. It's called a key. And what that does is when they pour a concrete wall on top of this, which you're going to do right here, is that key keeps it from moving side to side. So then that way it keeps it, keeps it strong and sturdy and doesn't move, again, side to side. So anyways, once that's done, then you got to let it cure. You got to let this set for minimum 24 hours. Don't get anxious and start ripping it off, because it could be still a bit soft depending on temperature, depending on the weather, whether it rained a lot. It rained a lot here last night, so it's really good drainage in here. Look at this. There's not a bit of mud down here. And it's kind of an old gravel, or it's all gravel. It's like an old riverbed here. So anyways, once it's cured, 24, 48 hours, then you can come and you pull off all of these here footings here, all these forms right here. So, and then you get rid of it, because this is all going to be backfilled. This is all going to have dirt on it. They're going to put drain tile all around the outside, but that's for another video. We're going to talk about that in another video. So anyways, that's the importance. That's part of the importance of why you have to get your footings done right. They've got to be proper. So again, a project this size, you're likely going to hire someone to do it, but it's good for you to know the basis of doing your footings. That way, when you come and see your home being built, then you know what they're talking about. You don't look like a deer in the headlights. So anyways, and sometimes you'll do a much smaller project. Maybe you'll just do a little project like this big, maybe you're putting an addition on your house, 10 by 10 or 10 by 30 or something like that. So at least you got an idea. But anyways, love to hear your comments. Subscribe and like to this, and we'll do some more videos for you and show you the process of building a house. So anyways, take care, and until next time, happy building.